What we got?
I've got an 1868 over-under pistol.
Wow, that's cool. Where'd you get it?
It's been passed down through 4 generations. My folks left it to me, but
What are you doing, stealing it?
No, I'm seeing if it'll fit in a vest, son. Factory fit's very good.
I came to the pawn shop today to sell my 1868 over-under Wesson pistol. I would like to sell it and take that money and apply it towards my children's college fund. I'd like to get around $4,800. The least amount I would take would be somewhere around $2,000.
Who's it made by?
Wesson is on the barrel. It says Wesson, Worcester, Massachusetts, and I believe it's December 1868.
The fact that it's a Wesson is pretty cool. This was designed by Frank Wesson, who was brothers with Daniel B. Wesson of the famous Smith & Wesson.
Correct.
It's in the style of a Derringer. A Derringer is a small pistol that can be put in a vest.
They were really easy to conceal. As a matter of fact, that's what Lincoln got shot with, a gun similar to this. While his brother Daniel Wesson went the mainstream route, Frank Wesson was known for guns that were a little different. But they were well made, and this is a good example of that. I like the way it flips like this. So it kind of just pull it out and you load it like that, huh?
Yes. Yeah, they call them over-unders and also flip doubles. Used to be carried by the saloon girls and also poker players.
Back in the 1860s, people had to carry their own protection. This is the gun that they would go for, and it would do the damage.
You got accidentally shot by one of these. How'd it feel?
It hurt. What happened is one of the employees knocked it off the counter and it went off. It hit me in the foot. It was an accident, and he's one of my better buyers. So he's still working here. I didn't fire him, I just wanted to kill him.
So what'd you want to do with it, my man?
I'd like to sell it.
Any idea what you're looking to get on it?
Well, I've had it looked at, and just some ideas. The ballpark would be somewhere around $4,800.
Okay, doesn't sound impossible. I don't know. I don't know that much about old handguns like this. He knows a lot, but he's old and forgetful, and...
Oh, shut up.
If you don't mind, I got a buddy in town that could come in and check it out for me.
Okay. I'm excited they're calling in an expert because of the rarity of this pistol. I've had a couple of collectors look at it. No one's been able to pinpoint the exact value.
Jemison, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Corey, how's it going?
Always good, man.
What's
How's it
going on?
man? The guys usually invite me down to appraise any firearms and answer questions that they have about them. What you have here is a Frank Wesson pocket pistol. It's not good for anything except between you and I about this close, because if you were 10 feet away, you probably don't have pissed the guy off. But, you know, it's like it could be deadly if it's up close, and so
Right.
a lot of guys use that. Corey, what are your concerns about this weapon?
I've never seen one like it. I just kind of want to know what it's worth.
All right. You know, I've seen these guns, you know, over the years. It's one barrel on top of the other, and you have to rotate it in order to fire each barrel. So that's kind of difficult. If you're in an altercation with somebody and you want to shoot them, you have to time out and stop.
So what do you think it's worth?
This gun, it could be worth $4,000 or $5,000. But it's a condition determines how much money it's worth. Take a close look. I'll tell you, when you see this much finish on the frame, and there's hardly any finish on the barrel, and it's also pitted and heavily worn, it tells me that it might have been sanded or cleaned. The screw looks like it's an early replacement because it's not correct type of screw for this type of gun. It does affect the collectability of it and the value. So if it was in a retail shop, I would expect this gun to go for $2,000, $2,200, something like that.
Well, Jameson, I appreciate it, man.
Sure, thank you, man.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. If it were in great condition, it probably would appreciate considerably in value as time goes by. But because it's not going anywhere.
I'm a little disappointed. It has a lot of value to me, more than what he has estimated.
I have to go with what my expert says. I'll go like $700.
You can't get anywhere in the high teens, 18, 2,000?
No, because I don't think I'm going to get 2,000 on it. First 1,500, 1,600 walks in the door, it's got a new home.
Grandpa, what do you want to offer on it?
You know, about 1,200 be top of the mark, Corey.
There we go. I'll offer you like $1,200, my man.
Yeah, I think anything below 15, I think I'd rather just keep it in the family.
Yeah, it looks like we don't got a deal then, man.
All right.
Take care.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming by, sir.
Thank you. We weren't able to come to a deal on the pistol, and I would just soon keep it in the family, pass it down to the next generation, and hopefully they might be able to acquire more than I was able to.
A guy called and said he had an old muscle car he wanted to get rid of. So Chum and I are going to go check it out. Hey, how's it going?
Fine, how are you?
Good.
Z28. Yes, sir. 1969.
The Camaro, basically, if you're over 45 years old, this was like the coolest car out when you were a kid.
Chevy had to do something to beat the Mustang.
Well, it was 1969. I mean, everybody was basically, how much gas could you get it to drink?
I fell in love with this car when I was in junior high school. Saw one drive by for the first time. I bought the car from a wholesale muscle car dealership in Detroit, Michigan. The car's been fully restored from the ground up. It's perfect condition, ready to go.
Chevy really did do it up right. Basically, these were real race cars. They handled all right. I mean, for a 1969 car, not compared to today, but
Not
for
compared to
1960.
today, yes.
And they were damn good looking. All in all, I mean, this was like the pinnacle of the 60s muscle cars. It really was.
Wow, that's a clean engine.
Put a lot of time in it.
When I was 16, I would have given my left arm for one of these. The Camaro was a kick-ass car back then, and it still holds up. And it looks like this guy has done all the right things to it. So you mind if I take it for a spin?
Sure, I know you have to do this to make the deal, but just be careful with it. This is my baby.
I'll be driving this car, Rick.
Okay.
The trick is to ask Rick for something while the customer's in front of him, because he likes to act like a nice guy while they're there. Boom, no riding shotgun from me today.
Sounds nice. It's a really clean car, ain't it? This was considered a plush interior in 1969.
Got the AM/FM radio, all right. We're doing it big in here.
It was a great thing about it. It was just all raw power, but there was more of a feel to it when you drove it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can definitely feel this thing purring. Makes me want a race car.
This car is just begging to burn out. But with Chum behind the wheel, driving like a little old lady on her way to church, makes me a little happier. Even at this speed, I can pretty much tell this car is about perfect. All right, so how much you want for it?
I'm asking $49,000 for it.
Ugh. This car was so popular. I mean, what, they made like 20,000 of these that year?
They made 20,000 of them.
So the thing is, there's a lot of them out there. It's, you know, it's definitely got the cool factor. It just doesn't have the rarity factor. So, I was thinking more like 38.
That's a little low. I don't think I can do that.
Remember, it's cash. I mean, realistically, what is your best price?
47 would work for me.
I'd go 40. That's really the best I can go. It's just,
Can you go 45 and we'll shake and that's it?
I would go 40 and we'd shake. I mean, the problem is, it's a tough market out there for these cars right now.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you split the difference, 42?
I'd go 40. $40,000 cash. I think that's a more than fair price.
Well, I hate to give it up, but it's
All right.
a deal.
It's a deal.
I'll drive it back.
No, you don't get to drive it back. Drive it up to my shop, bring the paperwork with you, and they'll write you up.
You got it.
You can drive it when we go to wash it.
I'm gonna take it to a bikini car wash. You got me thinking now.
What can I help you with?
I have a watch here.
Okay. Apparently it's an old watch.
I hope so.
Where did you get it?
A garage sale.
Really cool watch. Do you mind me asking what you paid for it?
$20. I came into the pawn shop today to try to sell my antique pocket watch. I'd like to sell it because I don't collect pocket watches. If I get 500, if I get 800, I'll be happy. Anything works for me.
Do you know much about it?
I don't know anything about it. I just discovered it and it looked cool. So,
Well, I can tell you a little bit about it.
That'd be great.
It's a William Ellery. That's an American watch company that later became Waltham Watch Company. Abe Lincoln actually carried a Waltham watch.
wow.
This is absolutely amazing back here. Earl Butler Hero saved my life at Cross Keys, Robert M. Scott. That's,
Something good?
that is something good. I'm assuming that's the Civil War. The watch is probably 1870s, 1880s. Pretty easy to date them. First off, it's a key wind and a key set. By the 1890s, they were almost all going to stem winds. That would make it right around the right time period. It has to be the Civil War. You just increase the cool factor by like 10 times, okay? Because this actually belonged to a Civil War veteran,
Okay.
okay? That was given to that person by another Civil War veteran
Okay.
who saved his life at Cross Keys, which I'm assuming was a battle. One of the greatest gifts you could give in the 19th century was a pocket watch. Imagine someone gave this to a friend who saved his life during the Civil War. I have never seen anything like it. Do you know if it runs?
No.
It's wanting to work. It's working.
That's positive, right?
Yes, I mean, the great thing about this watch is it's in amazing shape. It works great. The case is in amazing condition. We have a porcelain dial on it that doesn't have one crack. These things are notorious for cracking. There's a huge market for Civil War stuff, and a pocket watch in this condition with engraving on the back could be worth a fortune. Collectors would line up out the door to buy this thing. I mean, this has got me really fascinated right here, though. I'd really like to find out who these people are. These could be important people from the battle.
Okay.
I'd like to find out more about the battle. I have a buddy who knows just about everything there is to know about the Civil War. There's something special here. You might have a lot more money.
Okay.
All right?
Great.
I'll be right back.
Thanks. Since he's calling in the expert, that must mean something good. I hope so, anyway.
I have this watch here, and the engraving says that it's from the Battle of Cross Keys.
The Battle of Cross Keys was an interesting one. This was early on in the Civil War. And this was Stonewall Jackson, one of the best-known generals on the southern side. And Cross Keys was one of the battles with Union forces. And the Confederates had about 5,800 men in this battle. The Union side had over 11,000 men in this battle, and the Union lost.
Were you able to find out anything about those names or anything like that?
Well, there are a number of Robert M. Scotts out there. There are a number of Earl Butlers out there. They don't show up in the historic record individually that I could find.
I mean, the watch is really cool. I mean, it seems like it's from the right time period and everything like that. Do you think it's legit?
Okay, do you mind if I take a closer look at it?
Please.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The time period would be probably the late 1880s, so the name on it and the serial number both fit. That's all good. And if you were going to fake a piece like this, you would pick a battle that everybody's heard of. You know, it'd be, thanks for saving my life at Gettysburg or something.
Yeah.
And that the engraving is all hand done. In looking at it, I think that this appears to be correct to me. I think it's a very nice memorial from the Civil War. You know, this is somebody in post-war years and said, I want to say thank you. Hopefully that helps.
Thanks, man.
Not a problem.
Thank
you very much.
What do you want for it?
2,000.
I mean, the two people on there are really not known. So, $700.
But the battle's known. 1,800.
If it didn't have that engraving on it, is literally worth $400 or $500. Let me give you $1,000 for it.
Come on, you're gonna make a profit either way. How about 15?
I just don't know what I'm gonna get out of it. I'll go 1,300, not a dime more.
13 will work.
Okay, 1,300.
All right.
I'll meet you right up front over there.
All right, thanks. Bought it for $20, and I'm walking out with $1,300. I'm ecstatic. I couldn't be happier.
What do we have here?
I've been told these are a couple dinosaur eggs.
All right, so how do we know they're dinosaur eggs?
That I don't know. I didn't live back then. I'm coming to the pawn shop today to try to sell what I think is a pair of dinosaur eggs. I think the rock could be millions of years old. I'm going to ask $20,000 for them. If they're dinosaur eggs, I think that they're worth that much because they're really rare.
You know, normally I would think you were crazy and just brought me in a giant rock, but you mind if I take a look at it?
Sure.
I mean, I guess they kind of look like eggs if they've been flattened. mean, it's definitely got some chisel marks here where you can tell it where it was actually like chipped out of something, which tells me it's got to be something. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm not a geologist. I'm not a paleontologist. Do you know if that crack is natural or was it cracked and then they put it back together or something?
I don't know that.
I'm not an expert when it comes to dinosaur eggs, but I do know people pay a lot of good money for cool dinosaur stuff. That's if they're legit. Any idea what you want for them?
20,000.
20,000? Okay. You know, I'm not too sure on the value of dinosaur eggs, but I do know Nicolas Cage paid like $1 million for a Tyrannosaurus Rex skull. So,
Wow, that's serious.
I got a buddy named Tom who is a paleontologist. Do you mind if I have him come down and check him out?
That would be great, sure.
All right, I will be right back. I'll see if I can get him down here. Feel free to take a look around. I have no idea whether these are real dinosaur eggs, but I'd be pretty pissed if I let a fossilized T-Rex egg walk out the door without making an offer. So I gotta find out exactly what they are. So it's either a giant rock or it's dinosaur eggs.
Oh boy.
I'm just hoping it's real. That would be cool.
In the early 1990s, thousands of these eggs came into this country and appeared in many of the markets. And at that time, there was a real excitement about dinosaur eggs. But let's determine that they're real.
Okay.
The first thing I'm going to look for is a uniformity in the thickness of the shell. If you look at the shell from the side, you'll see a very constant thickness. You'll see the color differentiation between the sediment on the interior and the actual shell itself. Well, in my opinion, these are absolutely original eggs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
These are 70 to 80 million years old. But what I don't like, what I'm seeing is I see a crack in this area that comes around that indicates this egg was actually added to this piece of stone, trying to make it look like it's a pair of dinosaur eggs. Now, normally, a single egg is never worth as much as it is if it's part of a pair or a triplet, making them on the market more valuable, but knowing that they're not original to each other, it makes it less valuable.
Any way to know what kind of dinosaur it would have been?
Well, this egg has been identified as Dendrolithus. It would have been a duck-billed dinosaur.
A duck-billed dinosaur.
Wow.
It's like the lamest of all dinosaurs, right?
Well, I don't know about the lamest. I actually find them quite interesting. They were one of the favorite meals of a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
So how much do these things go for? Because I have no idea what dinosaur eggs are even worth.
The value of these eggs is nowhere near what they were in the early years. Because there are actually tens of thousands of these eggs on the international market today. I see these made available anywhere from maybe $300 to $600 an egg in this condition.
That's a big difference from the 20,000. At least we know what they are.
Well, my man, appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
No problem, buddy. Thank you.
Bye. Dinosaur eggs become something that is a focal point in any conversation. How cool is it to have a dinosaur egg on your coffee table and you've got friends over and you start talking about this is a real dinosaur egg?
So what do you think?
Tom just said between $400 and $600 a piece.
Okay.
So that's what I would be able to sell them for.
Okay.
So I'd offer you $400.
Can you do 800?
I really can't, you know, I mean, figuring the most I'm gonna be able to get out of these is 12. And a year from now, if they're sitting here, I'm gonna knock them down to, you know, $800, and then I'm gonna knock them down to, you know, $600. So I'll tell you what, I'll go $500.
500? Okay.
All right?
All right.
So,
Thank you.
Tell you what, why don't you grab this and meet me over there, okay?
Okay, thank you.
I'm glad the dinosaur eggs checked out. They may not be from a T-Rex, but they'll still freak Chum out when I tell them they're gonna hatch.
Hey, how's it going, man?
What's up, Big Mike? How you doing, buddy?
Got something cool here today. It's an NBA ring.
NBA ring.
Check it out, though. I got one of these.
It's the National Bowling Association.
Yeah. Wait, the National Bowling Association? Yeah. They were ballers back then. I found this thing at a white elephant sale. It's kind of like a rummage sale. I'm not much of a bowling guy. I'm usually in the gutter. And today I hope I'm getting out of the gutter by bowling a strike and getting some cash.
So, this is pretty cool, man. For lack of a better term, this is essentially the Negro Leagues of bowling.
Wow.
And the whole point of it was African Americans weren't allowed to participate in the American Bowling Congress. So they pretty much developed the National Bowling Association so they could have a bowling league. And then they started letting pretty much all minorities in it. And then they changed the name.
That's really cool. So are they still around? I mean,
No,
is the league
in the 50s, the American Bowling Congress kind of got rid of all the segregation and stuff in it.
Thank God that stuff's in the past.
This ring is one of those really interesting unknown pieces of history. And while it's not an NBA basketball ring, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to sell it and make some money. What's it made out of?
I think it's silver. Sterling, I don't know. I mean, I don't have a little...
Sterling silver, says Sterling right inside it.
Okay. Is that a real ruby?
No, not a ruby, it's just glass. What do you want to do with it, Mike?
I was hoping to bowl a strike and get like maybe 300 bucks out of it.
I get it. 300 bowling. You're a funny guy.
Perfect game. What do you think?
Look, man, it's got some historical significance. It's cool. You got about probably $15 worth of silver weight there. I'll give you 200 bucks.
200?
As interesting as it is, there's a handful of people out in the world that know what the National Bowling Association is.
I mean, couldn't you bump it up to maybe like 250?
I'll give you 225, man.
225.
I mean, literally, we've got a good story and maybe $15 worth of silver. 225 bucks is really good.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Chum, you want to write them up?
Yeah, I'll write him up again.
225? Oh, yeah. That'll buy me a lot of bowling lessons and some beer.
You're making me work, Mike, every time I see you.
Hey, it's money. I gotta get paid.
So what in the hell do we have here?
This is a 1941 M3 armored scout car for the Army.
This looks like something right out of MASH. Is this thing bulletproof?
Yes, it is.
Sweet.
I decided to come to the pawn shop today to sell my M3 armored scout car. I paid $25,000 for this truck. I was hoping to get $28,000 if possible. I'm sure it can only appreciate. It's like gold, it can only go up.
So where did you get this thing?
I was driving through Barstow, and my son saw it, and he's a military buff, and we sent it at a tow yard. They said it was all original, and I had to have it, so I went in there and bought it.
And now you're tired of it?
No, I'm going to prospect up in Alaska, and I need some money, and I'm going to go on to the next adventure.
Okay.
It's not every day that someone rolls up the shop in an armored vehicle used in World War II. If this truck is genuine, I know some military collectors who will go nuts over it.
I mean, it does look cool. It would be fun to drive it up and down the strip every once in a while. So let's see what it's got under the hood.
Let's do it.
Damn, this thing's heavy.
Meant to stop a bullet.
That's definitely not a 1941 motor. That's like a late 80s, early 90s Dodge turbo diesel. Do you know how many miles are on it?
Very low. Had it in the garage the whole time. Other than that, I don't know that much more about it.
So it's a different steering column.
Well, this is how I bought it, so I don't know what's been changed on it or whatnot, but...
Someone's restored it somehow or the other. I mean, it's got a brand new paint job on it, I'll tell you that. To tell you the truth, I have no idea what a 1941 Scout vehicle goes for. If we can drive this down to a buddy shop of mine, he actually deals in this kind of stuff, and we can get it all checked out.
I'm all for that.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to going to the expert, take a look at this, and we'll know where we stand.
Hey, David, how's it going?
Hey, guys.
This is why we came by.
Wow. I'm the owner of Army Trucks, Inc. We supply military vehicles to motion pictures, TV, commercials. This is a 1941 Scout car, it looks like. They're made from the late 30s to about 1944. They use these to go ahead of the tanks to scout out the enemy. So, Rick, what are your concerns?
It looks like a lot of stuff on it's been replaced, so we basically have a 1941 body here.
When I'm analyzing a truck like this, I basically look for originality, I look for obvious flaws. Wow. Guys, I see some numbers here, which lend some authenticity to the vehicle. I'm gonna keep looking. Well, 1/4-inch armor, that's good. Let's pop the hood. Definitely the correct hood, but that's not correct. Modernized.
Yeah, that's what's concerned me. Like everything underneath looks modernized.
So Rick, you want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the bad news.
Well, the bad news, this thing is pieced together.
Okay.
The only thing original is probably the first foot of this truck. And this looks like an M3 chassis, but everything after that underneath looks like a modern pickup truck.
So what's the good news?
The good news is somebody put a lot of time and effort and money into making this thing to look like this. As a vehicle collector myself, it does have the wow factor.
So what's a wow factor worth?
A pristine one of these is worth about $100,000, original one. This, I think, up to $20,000.
Okay. All right, thanks. It's not an original 1941 Army truck, but it still looks badass. There's definitely a market for military reproduction vehicles, so I'm still interested in buying it. I came here thinking one thing, now I have to think about something completely different. So before we talk money, let me take this thing for a spin, okay?
Sounds good to me.
All right, you guys ready to go?
Let's go. Let's get some wow factor going.
This thing is a hell of a lot of fun to drive. I'm definitely interested, so long as this guy keeps in mind it's not a 100% all-original military truck. Hopefully, we'll come together on a price.
Yeah! Woo! What do you think? Pretty badass.
Yeah, it's pretty badass, but what the hell am I gonna do with it? That's my problem I'm thinking about. So realistically, what are you looking to get out of this thing?
Well, I know I paid $25 for it, and now that I know from your expert what it's worth, I know that's gone. But I gotta have at least 19 or 20.
It's just not going to happen, man. I'll go 11 grand, but it's going to be really difficult to sell. You know, when I first looked at it, cool, old World War II collectible Army truck, it's not that. I mean, basically, you got a 20-year-old truck here with a bunch of steel bolted to it.
Still paid $25,000 for it.
What you paid for it is immaterial to me.
and it has value. It has intrinsic value.
Limited market.
How about $15,000?
It won't happen.
$11,000? I mean, I'm taking a bath with that. I might as well just park it in my backyard and make a bird bath out of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I just can't. That's what I can do.
Well, I appreciate you looking at it.
Sorry we couldn't make a deal, man.
Kind of disappointed. 11,000 is kind of a slap in the face. I'd rather have the wow factor myself. It's still a cool item. It's a cool piece. I'll park it back in the garage. 4th of July, come down where we're at and see the parade.
Chumley, put the damn silver plate back.
I was polishing
Excuse me,
it.
Yeah, right.
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. What do you got?
I have a 1965 Gilbert Erector set.
What's an erector set?
Well, an erector set was like the original building toy. Well, I got this when I was 4 years old.
You must have been a smart 4-year-old.
Perhaps at the time I was.
Wow.
I decided to go in the pawn shop today to sell my 1965 Gilbert Erector set. You know, 1965, the Erector set was an extremely popular toy. Well, that's all we had. This Erector set is in really good shape. Most of the pieces are there. You know, as a kid, you lose a few pieces here and there, but it's got a nice metal box, which is really rare. This comes with the wrenches, nuts and bolts. The whole thing is made out of metal. This is when toys were really toys.
They're not like the toys now. They don't wear out. That metal's gonna last forever. Back in the day, me and everybody else bought them for their kids. Kids used to use their imagination. Nowadays, toys are built, painted, and boxed, and they're a bunch of crap. Kids don't know how to play these days. And that's what's wrong with the damn world. Rick had one of these when he was a kid.
So what kind of stuff would you build?
You build bridges, you build windmills.
Well, it sounds hard just to play. Is this even safe for kids?
Well, not kids like yourself, but kids that would like to build things, perhaps it is.
I would cut myself.
That you would. In my experience, it's best to keep sharp objects and metal away from Chumley. He's a danger to himself and anybody around him. It's a nice looking little set. What are you trying to do, guy? You want to sell it? You want to pawn it or what?
What I'd really like to do is sell it.
What you trying to get out of it, sir?
Well, I know I've seen these retail for $100. And so for you, $75.
No, I can't go 75. I couldn't make my overhead with that. You're looking at a $50 bill.
This has its original case. You know, not too many of them you see on the internet that has this metal box.
I'm going to sell it as a set with the case, and I will probably get around $100 for it. I'm not trying to be hard or anything. That's what it is.
Okay, you have a deal.
All right.
Cash money?
Cash money, chum, we go write it up.
People nowadays, kids, even older persons, they don't appreciate the metal toys. So I went ahead and settled for 50 just to close the deal.
Here's your 50 bucks.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thanks a lot.